Hey everybody, this is Tim Raven. Welcome back. This is episode 2, Gods and Goddesses, Ways of Connecting. In this episode, I'm going to be doing a lot of talking. I just want to explain a little bit more about Asatru. I'm not going to be making a bunch of videos trying to convert you to paganism and trying to talk you into doing these things. I just want to spend this episode to give you a little bit more basic knowledge of Asatru and why we do the things we do. Alright, first of all, what does Asatru mean? Well, Asatru stands for faith in the gods or faith in the unseen. Basically, the gods, in my mind, are representations of natural forces of energy in the world. They exist inside us, in our minds, and all around us. I don't believe that they're actual physical people that existed and walked the earth. I think they are. For them to exist a long time ago, they couldn't be now. So I think they're kind of like an everlasting energy, like the ways of nature, the way the sun makes the grass grow, things like that. That's basically what the gods represent to me, the natural workings of the world, and basically like a consciousness which you strive to reach. So basically they're like models that we try to become, to better ourselves. There's three things that a friend told me about, that really kind of explained it well for me. There's fact, fiction, and faith. If you live a fact and fiction life, it's this isn't real and this is real. It's kind of open, one thing is another, and spirits aren't real and gods aren't real. Well, it's just basically terminology. A lot of religion is a different terminology. I'm not saying that God or Jesus doesn't exist. I'm just saying that there's no way that he can be the only one that created everything. There's just way too much out there. It's a combination of a bunch of different energies combined that created the world and life, not just one. The people of the North, Norse mythology, they have a really good explanation of how the world was created. I mean, they have metaphors that make it seem odd and not make sense, but actually, they lived around a lot of ice, so they noticed that when the ice melted, it created water, and then stuff started growing in the water and things like that. It kind of explains modern physics, the way fire and water collide, they create things, and that was, their two main elements in their mythology is fire and ice, and how they combined and created reactions and basically, created the world and us. So the mythology is based on modern physics, and it makes the most sense to me logically. How can one guy make everything, or one being? It's not possible, I don't think. There's just too many complex things in the world. And there really is a lot more to the story and mythology and creation of the world. There's just like so many books that you can read. I mean, it's called The Religion with Homework. It really is. I mean, there's so much stuff to read and so much stuff to learn. And a lot of it is really metaphorical, and you have to read it a couple times over again, especially me. I'm not the brightest person in the world, but, you read it a couple times and, it makes more sense to you, and you just can't believe how, it's so simple, really. It seems so complex, but it really is just simple. I chose to follow Asatru because I just had, negative everything. I just thought life sucked, just wasn't going in the right path. I had no faith at all, had nothing to look forward to, and that kind of brings up the whole fact, fiction, and faith thing. Once you bring faith into your life, it does change you. Like, there's always something there to look forward to or hope for. I've had like a really hard life, and I think, this religion or these gods entered my life at this time to kind of help me get through this. At first I was like, is this happening because I'm doing this, because I'm practicing paganism? Is this why bad things are happening? And I don't think that's what it is. I think I discovered this, and I'm doing this to get me through my hardships. It's taught me how to embrace my struggles and, conquer them and keep going. And it's really got to relate to you and your character. If it doesn't make sense to you, don't follow it. You got to make sure you understand it and you feel that it's the right thing. It's just the way you see it, I guess. All these religions have different ways of explaining it. I guess it doesn't matter, what you worship or what you practice, as long as it makes you better and helps you get through your problems and your day without, making any harder problems for anyone else, and just kind of helps you get through life and see the good things in life and not go down the horrible path and destructive path of destroying yourself and others, which I've seen a lot of my friends do. And if I had this when I was a kid, if somebody showed me Asatru when I was a teenager and how cool it was and all the amazing stuff you could do, I think I would have been different. I mean, I think this kind of thing can help our struggling youth right now, because faith and religion to me was so, I don't know, stupid, like I wasn't into that. I didn't want to go to church with all these old people and, all these things that were said about priests and what they do, and it's horrible, their whole view of religion in kids these days is destroyed. There is no religion. It's internet, that's what it is. So I mean, we gotta kind of bring back the old ways of thinking to these kids and get them to realize that they're our future and they're gonna affect our world, and they need to have faith, because without it, I mean, we're gonna have nothing. It's gonna end up, overpopulation. Everything's just gonna crash, and I mean, there's no stopping that. It's going to happen one day, but you got to learn how to enjoy your life and be happy, because life is short. And this religion and this faith has showed me to enjoy the little things in life and not get so upset and depressed about the things that happen, because it's going to happen no matter what. You're going to have problems, crap in your life, no matter what, no matter how good you are. What you can control is how you react to those things and how you take care of them. Are you going to sit there and go depressed and not do anything? Or are you going to get up, get off your butt and get it taken care of and move on? It's kind of like me coming out with this and telling everybody what I'm doing. You just got to let go. Just don't give a crap what anyone thinks about you anymore, and just go for it. And once you do that, it becomes so much easier. Once you stop resisting, it becomes so much easier to live and understand and continue spreading it to others. I've noticed I've helped a lot of people just by talking to them over the internet about this stuff. It just gets you to connect with other people and to help them in their regular life. It's just a cooler approach, I guess you could say, a more stylish image for our younger people to connect with. They see this Vikings and all this cool art. Yeah, that's awesome, but there's so much more to it, and that's what caught me. I just started reading and I was like, wow, these people are deep. This is real, and I was excited that this was an actual real religion and I could follow it and prosper from it. That's awesome. So yeah, I just kind of wanted to explain that to you guys and show it to you and get it out there. Now there's a lot of gods and goddesses. There's so much stuff to tell you about, but I'm not going to drag that out into this video right now. But I will be making videos about the gods and how you can offer to them. I kind of do a simple way of doing it. You just pick one god each day, and you read about them and offer to them, and the next day you move to the next one, and just keep going and on until you can memorize it. And that's what I did. And there's gods and goddesses, a lot of them, because there's a lot of natural forces and energy in this world, and that's what they represent. In later videos, I'll explain more about that. But right now, I just kind of want to tell you about this and why I'm doing it, and I hope you guys keep watching, and my next videos will have a lot more action in it, I promise. I like to be outside and, show cool stuff and cool things you can do. So just keep watching, and you will be seeing some really cool stuff, I promise.